Now the first step is to get all of your ingredients. We got butter, sausage, it can be frozen sausages, that's what I have, cheese, eggs, sriracha, and tortillas. The next step is to get a medium heat pan. A cast iron makes it all taste better, trust me. And there's my dog Gus. The first important step is getting that butter into the pan and so the eggs don't stick. You don't really have to put the sausage in the pan unless you really want to. I put mine in the microwave just to heat it because they're already cooked. They will get reheated in the burrito once they're put in there. But make sure that there's a good amount of butter in there so it can spread around so the eggs don't stick. So then now here's me cracking the eggs into my pan. Shout out to my dad for filming this for me. This is nice because if I filmed this in my apartment, it would have been on a much worse stove and cooking top. I don't have a cast iron in my apartment, but it was easy to crack the eggs enough into the pan here and see me grabbing the eggs off the plate over there. Everything's all prepped out and ready. I promise my counter is clean. That's why I put the tortillas there. I'd wiped it down beforehand. And then so I'm still cracking the eggs. You can ignore the bedhead. I had just taken a nap. And okay, so here's where I cracked the egg and I dropped a piece of the shell in there. It kind of sucks. So I had to grab it, which was, it wasn't too hot yet, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and got rid of it. And that's that part. Shot this video upside down just to add a little flair to it. So here's me mixing the eggs around. I like to scramble my eggs in the pan just because it makes it easier and there's less prep time required for that. And here's me grabbing some of the salt and putting it in there, sprinkling it in. Be generous with the amount of salt. It's basically to how much flavor you like, and I always put some pepper in as well. It just makes the eggs taste better, and it just adds to the flavor altogether. So this is a very important part of the breakfast burrito is the cheese. You can never have enough cheese in any kind of breakfast burrito, although sometimes it can be a little too much. So I'm just using a Tillamook cheddar here. It's not a sharp cheddar or any sort of fancy cheese. It's just what I had in my fridge. It'll melt nicely, and especially in the pan, it just like melts in with the egg and with the sausage, and it just adds a perfect texture and a taste to this breakfast burrito. And that's all you really need because I'm making 4 small burritos, and so that's all you need. Here's just another quick stir of the eggs just to make sure that they're cooking all right. It's still medium heat. There's a little bit of smoke coming off, but that's just because it was being stuck to the cast iron. Still going to cook okay. It's going to taste amazing. The cast iron, I swear to God, makes everything just taste so much better than it really is. You can see the flecks of pepper in there. Like, you don't have too much. Just give a quick little pat to the egg just to, make sure they know who's in charge. And you keep on mixing them a little bit just so that they're getting even cook time on all parts of the egg. And the little white parts of the egg is really good. The egg white is good cooked like that, I promise. This may not look normal, but this is a really good way to do it. And so you just keep on mixing it around. And yeah, look at that. So the spatula starts to just kind of brush off the side, and they can start to break apart a little bit easier. That's how you know that they're done. And then you turn the heat down to low, and you just leave it at that. And now you're just adding some cheese to the tortilla, the warmed up tortilla in the microwave, just a little bit. That's all you need. And now you're taking some of the sausage patties that I had cut up into squares so that they fit nicely in there, and you just kind of put them all in every single burrito, and so they line up just about like that. So the eggs are done cooking now at this point. You can see they look a little crumbly and they don't look really good. Like, they don't look super appetizing like this, but I promise you, in the breakfast burrito with everything else, it's going to taste really good. So I take this spatula here and I start spooning it into the bowl just so it makes it easier to put it in the burritos evenly. Just a great video of me doing just like that. Give it a little bit of time here. It's sticking to the bottom of the pan, but that'll just add flavor to the outside of the tortilla when you put the tortillas back in when their burritos are done to get them all crisping up and brown and everything. So the heat is still on low because you want to keep that. Here's a quick little fold up of the burrito before it goes back in the pan to get toasted up. It doesn't look amazing, but hey, it'll do the job. And some stuff fell out there, but that's okay. Now that they're all grilled up, it's time to put these puppies in the pan. Look how good they look, and they're not even cooked yet. My dog was as hungry as I was making this video, so we're going to put them in the pan. It's on a pretty low heat right now, just so you don't burn the burritos. And so I'm putting them in side by side, just because that's how they fit well side by side. I totally planned out how well these are going to fit. Stuff keeps falling out of them, but that's okay. You can just throw them back in if you want to, or you can just eat them. That's the nice part about it. And I try to do it. After that failed snap transition, here's me flipping them over one by one. That one didn't seem to be cooked enough, so you got to flip it back over. But if you keep on going down throughout the burrito line, look, that one's a little golden brown. That's going to be great. The cheese is melting. It's going to be really, really tasty. At this point, I kind of just said screw it with this one, and it started to fall apart on me. So I was like, I had to flip it over the other way. It wasn't going to be golden brown as the other ones, but that's not that big of a deal. So I flipped it back around, and I put it back, and I centered it over the burner a little bit more. Everything else is great and golden brown now. This is the part where you take them out of the pan. Stuff kept on falling out of the pan, but at this point I didn't really care. My dog saw it on the side. He said he wanted some, but unfortunately those were all for me. Now you're looking at the finished product of these breakfast burritos. Look how great these look. Cheese is melted, golden brown on the outside. It's going to give it a really nice crunch. Everything is just perfectly placed in there, and it's just so tasty. Here's that sweet cross-section look that I know all of you have been dying to see since the beginning of the video. Look at that. The sausage, the egg, the cheese, it's the tortilla. It's melted. It's all perfectly placed together, and they're just so freaking tasty. Now, call me crazy, but I do like to add sriracha onto my breakfast burritos. The spice that it gives is just so tasty. Excuse the dirty bottle. I've been using it a lot lately, so you just get a nice, healthy glob of that on there, and then you just take a bite of it, and everything just mixes so perfectly well together, and it's so tasty. And it is served great with a glass of orange just next to it. Look at that, I'm already almost done with my burritos. Just a great combination for a breakfast in the morning.